Well, BT, we've had a break for a couple of weeks. It's time for...
In 2009, the Saturday Rub brought you the iconic
World according to the Cool Breeze.
And now, it brings you
Cool Breeze Chronicles.
That's the longest stinger.
That's longer than the segment.
Now, we've retraced Brian's ugly days, the ugly latter days at Richmond Footy Club when they basically kicked him out.
By the way, that story I told before, that was early 80s. That's why we misbehaved like that.
Yeah.
Don't condone it.
No, you only had the 2 light beers, I think, that night.
Yep.
So Brian's left Richmond. He got caught drinking before a game on a Friday night, and they kicked him out. So he's now at Collingwood, and he's kicking lots of goals. But early in this Collingwood career, boys, the habit emerges where he's giving away free kicks by pushing people into the back, and he's starting to showing a lot of signs of aggression against Melbourne in one particular game. There were 2 fights against Danny Hughes, and this is the match report at the time by Peter Simonovic. Taylor had to be restrained by several teammates, including Mark Williams, the captain of the Collingwood Footy Club, and the Pies runner. Bob Rose, the coach at the time, was very defensive of Bristol post-game. He wasn't the aggressor. He's a human being. He'll cop only so much. He's not a coward, Brian. He's not going to run away. You get to Windy Hill, BT, and this was a famous game. You gave away 2 free kicks in the last minute in the goal square, and the Bombers ended up winning the game. And this is, again, match report from that particular game.
Oh, boy.
Taylor was furiously hurling the ball away, shouting at umpire Peter Cameron, and then standing toe-to-toe, arguing with Cameron. The Pies, in the days after this particular game, were so affronted by what was happening to you, which is a surprise. They took this matter to the AFL, and they officially complained. There was a board decision, Duck, to actually take this matter to the VFL. So Brian then starts getting a few free kicks. He kicks 12 goals against the Sydney Swans. That was your career high, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I like this, though. In the days after it, people were...
Was that the game where he had no handballs? He kicked 12 goals, 2 behinds, 15 kicks, no handballs.
I didn't delve that deep into the stats.
Well, I had a look at that with Two-Man about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? No handballs.
Not one.
So, in the days after it, all the papers are critiquing the great Collingwood recruit kicking 12 goals and on his way to 100 goals for the season. And then a famous Collingwood person bobbed up, BT, Peter McKenna. Oh. And he seemed to be taking all the credit for what was happening with you. Brian asked me to come and see him at training. I told him to run, and lead. I talked about that with Brian. I told him when to lead. Basically, Brian is not a super confident player. He was down on confidence, and I helped him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Peter McKenna taking the credit there. Also, 2BT, and I think Snorker will post this on the social media platforms of Triple M. There's an article in this stash of documents that have been given to us. You've received a visit by what can best be described as a mad scientist telling you how to kick the football, despite you're on the way to be kicking 100 goals.
I vaguely remember this.
And he's got all these sorts of devices, and you can see, and we'll post this up pretty soon, you can see the look on your face that you weren't completely buying what he was telling you to do.
I think I was in a bit of a hole at the stage, and the club said, you need any help you can get, so go out and listen to this guy. And I thought, I'll give him 5. And when I got out and met him, I said, no, just give him 1.
But doesn't that sum up? It sums up like BT's attitude back then, knowing, okay, so this is clearly he had anger management problems, but in terms of his goal kicking and everything else, he was prepared to do everything. Get McKenna down there, get the scientists, get everyone down there. You've got these kids now.
They don't want to know about them.
They can't kick straight, can't do anything. They don't go out of their way to go and seek help. Well, some do, but you know, a lot don't.
Not allowed to.
It's a good lesson, and BT was doing that in the 80s.
Yes.
Ahead of your time, BT.
Yeah. So your Collingwood career's taking off,
Did you
BT?
take it on board, Peter McKenna's thoughts?
Pete was great. Pete was fantastic.
What about the running side of it? I find that a bit confusing.
I was going to say I would have thought that that was just something that you knew you had to do.
You had to do run.
Lead.
I don't remember you running up and down the ground much, Brian.
When you haven't got great faith in those in front of you delivering the ball, lace out on the lead and kicking it over your head, you tend to stay back. And there was a bit of that going on, but then I became a leading machine. And once I led and got in front, not even you, Spud, could get around me.
Well, you did have an ample backside, there's no doubt in that. And that big bonce of yours, it was hard to get around, there's no doubting that.